Mura, I think we witnessed our modern day Gotti Ward type of fight, and you know, I mean, obviously this fight, you can make the argument that it calls for a rematch, you know, but that's obviously a future conversation we're going to be having with both teams and Mura's promoter, Mr. Honda. But what a heck of a fight! I mean, it was an incredible fight. This fight, like Hoffman said, should have been stopped like 3 times. You know, it was just an amazing fight. The attendance today was 11,274, which was incredible, amazing. I think it was a pleasure working with Rock Nation, with our co-promoters. Once again, we want to thank all our sponsors for making everything happen. For spreading the word all across the world. Thank you very much. And the main event lived up to its expectations. It was a terrific fight. I believe Cotto still has a lot left in the tank. He faced a Canelo that was stronger, and I think a lot of people were surprised in Canelo's waist movement and his side-to-side movements, and so this fight here is just going to take Canelo to a whole new level. I mean, these are the types of fights that you must have to give you the experience necessary to continue facing the very best. So we want to thank Canelo, we want to thank Miguel Cotto and his entire team. Like I said before, he demonstrated tonight that he still has a lot left in the tank, and obviously there's no shame in the defeat. He faced the younger lion. He faced a Canelo that was hungry for victory. And I want to make a special announcement to everyone that Canelo's next fight will be in May. We are locking in those dates for next year, Cinco de Mayo and September 16th. On those weekends, so Canelo will fight once again in May and September. What else? Questions? Anybody? Questions before the fighters come out?
May 2nd against who?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to sit down and talk about. It's very interesting because there's the Triple G fight. There's obviously other fights at 154. I have to get a feel of what Canelo wants to do, what his body tells him to, making the weight. He made 154 and a half, I believe it was. So the question is he going to stay at 154? Is he going to stay at 160? Those are the things we're going to talk about.
Well, Oscar, can I just ask you, you've said that the whole promotion, you want the best to fight the best, and clearly this fight was almost sold as the winner fights him, and now all of a sudden, we'll see if he fights him next. I mean, the fans are all talking about wanting to see that GGG fight. How do you rationalize putting on another fight as opposed to the fight that the fans are
I'm not saying he's going to fight somebody else. I'm not saying I'm not announcing anything. I'm going to let him rest. We're going to talk about it. Is he going to fight Triple G? Absolutely, of course. It's not a question. Canelo is willing to fight anybody. The very best. That's who he is. That's his character. That's why he's the guy right now, today, he's made his mark, and Canelo is the guy who is on top of the sport now, and the fans deserve the best fights, and that's what we deliver.
Oscar. Hey, Oscar.
Yes.
Right here. What does this mean for Golden Boy Promotions? You guys are coming off a kind of a little losing streak with your last 2 big fights, and this has to be big for the company, doesn't it?
Well, of course it's big. I mean, it's huge. It's huge. But it's much bigger than Golden Boy Promotions. It's huge for boxing because this is a new era in our sport, and get used to this right here. Exciting fights and the fights that the fans want to see. That's what we're gonna deliver. And yes, it was huge for Golden Boy Promotions, absolutely. I mean, I was crossing my fingers every single second and every single minute of every round, believe me. But you win some, you lose some. I mean, that's what happens when you fight the best, when you're willing to put up your fighters against the very best. I mean, I'm sometimes confused because a lot of people tell me, well, why did you put him against that tough guy? I mean, don't fans want to see good fights and competitive fights, you know? So we're going to continue doing what we're doing, and that's pleasing the fans. That's the bottom line.
I was just wondering about the disparity, like maybe between the scorecards. It was a great fight, but what do you think about how far apart the scores are?
Yeah, I mean, Canelo clearly won. That's a fact. I really didn't see the scorecards. Yes, you can make a strong argument that the scores could have been not too spread apart, not too wide. But yes, Canelo clearly won, no doubt about it. But I'm not a judge. I don't judge fights. But yes, it was a great fight, and Canelo clearly won.
Mr. Hoya, when I came in, you were talking about Miguel Cotto's performance. I know he's not your boxer, but obviously, on your experience, what can you say about Miguel Cotto's future? Does he has still something to
Yes, I strongly believe Miguel Cotto has a lot to give to the sport. He proved it tonight against a young guy who's 25 years old, and I mean, Canelo fought a terrific fight against a terrific fighter, and Cotto shouldn't walk around with his head up, with his head down. He should be proud of his performance. He did an excellent job. I mean, Cotto can go up against anybody, and you know, he can become world champion once again. I mean, he still has a lot left in the tank.
Giving quite a spoken recently about Mayweather and the lack of entertainment that some of his fights provided. Do you feel that a fight like tonight went some way to maybe reversing some of the damage you feel was done to boxing in Mayweather?
Well, look, I mean, people were eager to see an exciting fight. You know, after the disappointment with Mayweather and Pacquiao. Of lack of action, you know, people were eager to see a good fight, and that's what both fighters delivered. So, you know, the fans were happy, the fans were on their feet, they were cheering. It was an exciting night of boxing. You know, overall, it was an exciting night of boxing.
Last question right here. Hi, right here. Oscar, what about our rematch with Mayweather? Nobody believes he retired. He will try that record of Rocky Marciano. What about our rematch with Canelo?
Well, we would be open to it, absolutely. I'm sure Canelo will love the opportunity. As like I said right now, Canelo is the man right now, and that's exactly why I said we're fighting him in May and we're fighting him in September. Whether it's here in Las Vegas, whether it's anywhere around the world, he is fighting in May and September. And if Mayweather wants to fight him, then we can discuss that in the future. Let me call up to the podium the co-promoters of this event who did a wonderful job, and it was a pleasure working with them. My Rock Nation, Michael Yomer.
Hello, everybody. Let me first congratulate Team Canelo on a great fight tonight. I also want to congratulate Oscar and his entire team at Golden Boy. We've had a terrific experience over the last couple of months working together. He is a first-class guy, a great promoter, and a great friend. Tonight, obviously, was very disappointing for Miguel. He will not be addressing the media, but we have Freddie here that will talk on behalf of Miguel. If there's any questions, we'll take those as well. Thank you so much.
I still thought that my guy fought a good fight. We had a game plan to outbox him, and I thought we did that. I thought his defense was impeccable. I thought he blocked a lot of shots. I think they gave a lot of points for not scoring a lot of shots, but he landed a lot of combinations. I thought he fought a good fight. It was a good close fight, good competitive fight, good for boxing, but I thought we had the edge at the end, but it went the other way, and that's life.
Mr. Roach, what do you think about Miguel Cotto's now future after this fight? 35 years old, very much wars. What do you think he should do right now, and why didn't he come to the press conference? Personal situation or something else, or something, whatever.
He's disappointed, and he felt that we outscored Canelo in this fight. We landed a lot of combinations, and our defense was again very good. But he cares enough, but he's just disappointed right now. And the thing is, I thought he fought a good fight. I think he has a future with a couple more fights in him, if they're the right fights. But we're getting close to the end. And he's had a great career, and I'd like to say maybe a rematch, but we'll see.
Hey, Freddie, two things. Do you think Miguel didn't throw the left hook enough? I know he was throwing a ton of jabs in there tonight, but you seemed like after a while he maybe had him set up for a left hook. And then secondly, and he didn't throw it. And then secondly, I wanted to ask you, can you kind of break down in your opinion how Canelo would match up with Golovkin?
The thing is, our plan was outbox him, and our plan was out jab. We thought the jab would work well, and it did in the fight. And we weren't going after the hook as much as usual because we weren't working behind the jab, and then the right hand behind that worked at sometimes, but not enough. But maybe we should have went with the hook a little bit more. But the thing is, we did it. We fought a hard fight. We did the best we could. And what do I think about Canelo and who? Triple G, that's a great fight. I mean, you got two tough guys, two real strong guys. Both guys can punch very well. I'd like to see that fight.
Freddie, was there anything you felt like Miguel could have done differently or done more to pull out the fight? And what did you think of Canelo's performance tonight?
Well, he fought a good fight, but the thing is, I thought Miguel was landing the jab very well, but he was giving up the slack, and I thought he should have backed him up a little bit more. I would have thought we had more success with that, but I still think he outscored him along the way. But the thing is, it was very competitive, good fight, good for boxing, good for the boxing world for sure.
Hi, Freddie, right here. If you could talk about the size factor, because obviously Canelo swelled up a little bit. Cotto wasn't able to really move him with his punches, it seemed. Do you think that it'd be wise for Cotto to go back to 54? Is that what you'd like him to do in his next fight?
Yeah, it's definitely an option that we'll pursue, definitely, because, going into the fight, he weighs like 159 and his opponent weighs like 175. And he was a bigger, stronger guy, and we did have trouble backing him up. He came forward a lot in the fight, but I don't think just coming forward wins fights, though. I mean, I know he threw a lot of punches, I know he landed some good shots, but we blocked a hell of a lot of shots also. I mean, I still think that we outscored him number-wise, but, again, like Oscar, I'm not a judge, but I thought he won, but... I think I motivated him enough between rounds to go out and win rounds, and there were a couple rounds that I told him that he gave away and that he needed to be more offensive and back his opponent up, and he went out and he did what I asked him, I thought, and even HBO after the 10th round talked to me, and I wasn't really concerned. All four of my cornermen, none of us were concerned about losing the fight. We all had our guy ahead. So, I guess the judges had a part. But what really bothered me was the scoring was bad. I thought because the scores, we didn't lose the fight by that much. There's no fucking. I'm sorry. There's no way. But I did say some things about the commission and about people, and I was mad. I apologize if I offended anybody, but I still think we won the fight, though. The thing is, I thought he listened to me very well in the corner, and I don't think I had to motivate him any more than I did.
So what rounds then do you think that you lost?
Well, now you're gonna ask me what rounds. You think I can remember that? I don't keep a scorecard in my pocket. Sorry. Jesus Christ.
Fred.
Yes.
Freddie, right here. Freddie, did you think Miguel stayed in the pocket sometimes too long when he shot in his combinations and didn't move out of the ways quick enough?
Yeah, the thing is, I wanted him to use angles a lot more, and I wanted to throw combinations and use angles or get out of danger. And a couple times he stayed right in front of him and exchanged with them, and those weren't his best rounds. And I thought his boxing, his footwork was pretty good. But the thing is, I think we needed, I think we could have done a little bit better. Yes.
Was Canelo more than what you guys expected? How much has he improved?
He was more than I expected. Yes, he's improved a lot. I think he's become a better fighter. He's a young kid coming up, and again, I think from his last fight he looked better in this fight, and he's fighting better opponents and higher caliber guys, and. Again, like him and Triple G, I'd love to see that fight.
This will be the last question.
Freddie back here.
Freddie, if there's such a great disappointment from Miguel, do you think that this is it for him? Do you think, are you going to talk to him about retirement?
I'm sure we'll talk about it and see how he feels. But you know, the way he works in the gym, his work ethic, and he works so hard, and I don't think that it's over. But the thing is, we will have to discuss that, and we'll have a long talk about that, and we will make the right decision because I care about my fighters, and if it's over, it's over. And if you know, but I guess we'll have to see on that one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
HBO Sports serves up the exclusive replay of the World Middleweight Super Fight, Miguel Cotto versus Canelo, Saturday, November 28th on HBO. The HBO Sports team, which was ringside for the live coverage at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas, called the action, available in HD TV. The hard-hitting ring action will be presented along with the encore replay of the HBO World Championship boxing event featuring Vladimir Klitschko versus Tyson Fury from Dusseldorf, Germany, beginning at 10.